Morning YouTubers. This is a little video on a Hewlett-Packard Pavilion. This young lady brought it round to my house the other night saying that she's had a quote from a shop stating that the machine was dead and it would cost £150 for a processor. So she knows I work at a school doing computers, so she popped it round and I had a look at it. I said, well, it's not actually dead yet. And then when she explained that she did an update for Windows 8.1 and it's never worked since afterwards, I said, okay, I'll have a look at it for you. But she's most insistent, because she's a university student, that all the data on the hard drive must be saved. So what I'm going to do is take this apart, take the hard drive out, get the data off first for her, because that's most important, and then have a look at maybe just totally wiping the whole thing. I don't know if there's a system restore on it. If there isn't, or someone else, it looks like someone's been playing with it already, I will just reinstall Windows 10. So the first thing to do, I think, is take the battery out and start looking how we take it apart. Okay, so battery comes out, and I believe that there is some screws here as well, and underneath these 2 feet. Okay, so get a nice little flat head. I'm going to prise the feet off. That's it. Make sure not to damage the sticky on the other side. So if you can see that, just be careful. So just gently put it in and just lift. And you'll see there's some sticky underneath. Okay. And then it'll be a case of just all these screws, if you can see that here, these are all identical, so we haven't got to worry too much about them. This one here, you can prise that one off, which is a little tiny sealed one. I'll take that off now for you so you can see. And what that is, nothing underneath that one. That's the CD-ROM one by the look of it, and I believe there's one underneath here, and I think this is the keyboard one. That's it. So just be gentle. Okay, we'll put them in the lid. We've got a screwdriver kit here. It's quite handy because it's got a bit of a lid on it. So you can put your screws and whatnot into this. Okay. I'll take these apart, but probably in the video I'll just speed this bit up because you don't want to see all this. I mean, I'm not too sure about the 2 feet here, whether they have to come out yet. I will check that. These 2 rubber bungs, you can see them. Okay, the 2 underneath the feet, they've got to come out. Those are slightly smaller, they're just slightly smaller, so you want to put them, offset them a little bit, okay? So I'll put the longer ones in my case and I'll leave the 2 just on the table. Bit of a frog in my throat this morning. Let's get a little bit of a magnet screwdriver. I don't have one. Put to one side. And then we'll get the feet off in a second. Just turn it around, see if I can see it to the right. See if you've got anything in here. We have another screw. You can see that just there. And I'll tip it up in a minute and we'll get all the screws out. See any more? No. And then With the flathead, we're going to prise off the little feet so they come off. Just lift this clip up. There's a little clip here. You can see that. Just lift it and then slide it towards you. And they come off. And then voila, as they say. Underneath here then is 2 more screws. One there and one. You can see that. Sorry, it's a bit awkward with this. One there. That's it. Definitely easier. I'm just going to tip them over and then get the screws out. These are all the same size. I'll just check it. 1, 2, okay. Another one there. One gone. I'm not tapping it hard. You think I am, but I'm not. It's only good. Okay, let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One there, which is the and out it comes, and 1, 2. That's it. And then what you need to do is find yourself a parting tool. So put all the screws in there, lift the lid up, and now what we have to do is just prise just underneath here around the edge. You can see that. And prise this off. So I'm just going to find myself a nice credit card or something similar, and we'll have a bit of a play. Okay, just for aesthetic purposes, and you can see, slide your credit card just down the edges, like so. Just a little bit of pressure, nothing much, don't have to do much, just not much. And then just tiny little clips. And what I'm using is just a standard credit, well, it's not even a credit card, it's one of these cards you get, it doesn't matter what card it is, anyway. So just gently between that and the side, and you'll find it's pretty straightforward. Okay, round the corners, and that's it. You see it starts, it's lifting up already, if you can see that, yeah. I never understand with some of these where they don't put the hard drive, you know, like they normally do on laptops, where it's just a tape match with 2 little screws, out pops the hard drive, and then away you go. But hey, just put my fingers underneath, just to keep the pressure on. Nice and gently. This side's a little bit tricky. I'm just going to check we haven't missed a screw. No, we have missed, and I do apologise for that one. So if we turn it over again, which is like, I know I've been doing them a long time, but you must pull out the CD-ROM, because underneath that reveals a screw, and he's slightly different, so I'm just going to find a screwdriver for that. 2 seconds. Okay, it looks like what's happened here, the 2 screws underneath which holding the casing, this part of the casing in, has been removed already. Like I said, I think someone else has been into this and had a bit of a play, so there's only 1 screw in it, which is a funny looking one, so you can't make a mistake with that. So put him to one side, flip him back over, if the case hasn't pushed itself back down again. So it looks very good. Good to go. That's it, around the corner. Turn him around. Sorry about the camera angle. Each one. Okay. A bit tricky at the back. Just gently, and away we go. Okay, so pull it forward towards you. You see a little clip here. Okay, you just lift up slightly. So you just lift him up gently, and that pings out. And underneath we should have the large one for the keyboard and the mouse pad. I don't know if you can see that, but it's a bit difficult to show you. I don't know if you can see that. There's another one there. So just lift him up, pop out. Same with this one. Lift him up, pop out. And that's the keyboard done. Leaving us this little beauty, which we've got to get out next. So this is quite straightforward. So again, just lift him up. Just be gentle, okay. Comes out. They slide back in, quite easy. No force, and then put the back down again. Okay, looks like these are encased in a rubber, so you have to lift this up slightly. So you just lift him up with the rubbers intact, and then just slide him forward, and then pull your connector off, and that's it. So I'll just close him too. And now what we'll do, we'll connect this to my laptop and then get the data off, and I'll show you that in a second when I bring my laptop over. Okay, just to another quick one there that I forgot. Why you've got everything off. If you can look at the fan, I just inspect it for any dust rings, but you'll also find with the fan it pushes dust, draws it and pushes it into these. This is the cooling area. So what I normally tend to do, take it up the garage. I've got a very low compressor, or blow air. You can buy blow air cans and just blow it through and make sure it's clean before you put it back together again. It just helps on the cooling, that's all. Bit of a service. Okay, there is several things on the market you can buy at the moment. I mean, I'll put a link for this one particularly in the description down below. This is the power unit to power your drive. This is the SATA, and the connection, you'll see the power connection and the data connection. Okay, and this little device is USB multiverse bit of kit, and this will be a SATA connection, but you've also got your standard IDEs, which is the large drive and the 3.5 inch drive and the 2.25 inch drive, okay, and the USB connection. So what you tend to do with this is just connect it. Okay, and then connect your power, which I've got to get extra power for this. But you can also, I've also got in my tools is a small, doesn't matter, that's just a, put that on. It's a small hard drive, a 2.25 inch in a case. If you're prepared to sort of take that out and plug this in there, that's all it needs, because your USB ports will actually power it. But I do tend to do it this way because I just like the fact that I've got extra power, and I've got no problems with, you know, it's not going to lose data because it's like struggling for power from your own machine. So I'll just get a power source. Okay, once you've plugged your power source in, which we've done now, I'll just quickly show you. We've got some power there, so that goes into, there we go. And then I'll plug my two USBs in. It's just picked up the drive, so it's pretty standard stuff. So I'm going to, the page has just come up of what. So we click on users. It's a little bit slow at the moment. Here we go. Oh, come on. Her name's Becca. Hi, Becca. Ah, Houston, we have a problem. It looks like the hard drive is failing. We just had a massive load of clicking. So it looks like the hard drive is on its way out, and it looks like a 350 gig drive. Because if you didn't, I don't know if you heard that then, you heard which would be the head scraping on the cylinders. So I'm going to try and get all the stuff off before it actually fails. So documents, you don't have permission, so I'm going to continue and take permission. Okay, at this bit I'll just play with, and as soon as we're ready I'll get back to you, I suppose, if you don't want to watch all this. And then what we'll have to do is probably replace the drive. So, Mum, Dad, right. So if I just go back, you might be interested. What I'll do now is, you can't really see this, so what I'll do, I will right click on Becca's documents, if it lets me. And bear with me, right click, and I will copy that and paste it directly now onto my desktop. She has given me a drive, but let's just get it off. Ooh, come on. And I've plugged the drive into my machine, and you definitely know now that there is problems, because it's actually slowing my own laptop down due to the fact that it's actually failing. Okay, that's going across, so you don't want to see this for 22 minutes. I'll get back to you. Okay, just a quick recap then. So I took the hard drive out of Becca's HP, which we think is failing. I have now connected it to my laptop, which I'm now transferring data across from it, which she's desperate for. I've connected it via a SATA cable going to this little device here, which is like a multi-port. Also, I've got power connected to it because I don't want it to fail, and I don't trust the USBs, not on my machine. I just don't trust them in general for power. You need good power, a good source of power to keep this going. And then that connects from there to my PC on the two USB ports on the right side, not the USB 3, USB 2. I will put a link for this device, okay, down below in the description. When this is finished as well, I will recap and put Becca's machine back together again. That's it. If you'd like to subscribe, that'd be fantastic. But video not quite finished yet, so when the data's finished going across, I will just recap, put that back together again, and that'll be it. Whoops. Okay, I've just backed up her hard drive, which was 158 gig, which took about an hour and a half using the USB device. So we're now going to put this back into the laptop. So just reverse order. Okay, and pop them in. And the back end went in first, and then slide. They're only rubber mounts, so that's it. And then bring over the. This is not the connection. This is a USB port for this side, so the hard drive's already connected. So like, see the little lips up there, if you can see that. This has got to slide in. So it only goes in one way really, and if you hold the pressure on just a little bit, you'll feel it slide inside. Okay, and lock it down. Okay, same goes reverse order for the keyboard. So I don't think you can see that, but you can see the ribbons, so I'll just do exactly the same. It's difficult to move the camera so you can see it, but it's just reverse order. So you need to get this right, because if it doesn't, it's not going to work, and you put it all back together for no reason. So slide him in. That's him. You'll know when it fits home. It does, it fits nicely. Okay. Same with this one. Oops. Lift him up, slide him in, can't be bad. And then if you just bring the keyboards forward slightly, you'll find the other ribbon, which is this one. Okay, lift him up. I don't know if you can see that properly. Yeah, big fat fingers. trying to show you without getting in the way. Okay, slide him in, he goes all the way in, lock him into position. Then, just check underneath that the ribbons are fitting correctly. Beautiful. You can see them the way they lie, okay, you can't go wrong. And then that's it, all home, fantastic. Close the lid, flip her over. And really, I don't think you don't want me to show you all this again, but if you remember the screws, this big funny looking one, you can see that, that goes in the CD-ROM drive, which is in the center, using a fine posi on that one. Okay, these two were missing. If you want just a little bit of a word of advice, when you get a PC or a laptop and you're going to do some repairs on it, and before you actually touch it, what you need to do really is ask the customer what is wrong with it, what's happened, and if you can, try and fire it up while they're there, while they're in front of you. Because I used to run a bit of a shop many years ago, and a few customers, not many, but a few of them, would say it was working before you touched it. So anyway, so just a bit of a word of a warning. So replace all the screws, put the covers back on as reverse, quite straightforward. Okay, so slide them in, home they go. Same with this one, slide it in, home it goes, pop the two screws back in, put the rubbers back in, one screw back in there, and the rest. Okay, thanks very much for watching. If you'd like to subscribe, that would be great. I'll put a link down below in the description of the USB device which I use to back up. By the way, you're only going to back up a hard drive if it is working. If it is physically damaged, you're not going to be able to back it up. That's another bit, a total ball game. Okay, thanks for watching.